what's on YouTube right now? I'm here with someone special. I know you've seen him on this channel before. If you were watching AEW, you might even seen him with Mike Tyson. I'm talking about the Hitman For Hire, Mr. Grimm. How's it going?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Long time no see. Like, I feel like it was just like a year ago when we were traveling and seeing like Janela throw your kid in a trash can and push him into a table. And now you're on AEW. Like, what's up with that? How did you get there?
Honestly, man, just when you put in the work, somebody's bound to see you. Everybody always says, you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking at your social media and your videos. Like, so you got to stay, on your P's and Q's and stay professional. And, that was one of the reasons that I got the opportunity that I got. I sent my stuff out before. I've done extra work with them when they were in Philly. I sent my stuff off for the show in Jersey. And, one thing led to another.
Yeah. I mean, of course. Like, I was surprised as all hell. Like, I go on Twitter and I just see this graphic for AEW Dark. I'm like, okay, who's Wardlow facing? I look at him like, huh? I know him. How? What? Okay, cool. Like, how was the idea of like walking out on that Dynamite stage in front of like, well, okay, there wasn't really anyone there, but in front of like, a big television audience to say the least.
All right, so funny story about that. I haven't had a match since March. So I went out there, like, first I'm like, about to go out, and the guy's like, oh, you gotta wait because your music isn't playing. I'm like, wait, I got music? Right? So, like, I'm already nervous, like, as it is, because, like I said, I haven't had a match since March.
Yeah.
Then it's like, it's televised or, going to be posted for, whoever to see. So I'm like, man, I hope I don't walk out there and slip and, take a bump on, like, the entranceway. So my music finally, like, comes on and they give me the cue. They give me the cue and then my music hits. And I'm like, I'm used to hearing Take 'Em Out. And I'm like, oh, I don't know when to come out. Like, I've never heard my song before. Like, so I just walk out there and I'm like, I just black out, bro. I blacked out. I didn't even hear what my music sounded like. I didn't hear the announcer announce my name. Like, I was just blacked out, I saw the camera, I looked at the camera and made sure that I had that, that second just to, show my face on there, got in the ring, did something in front of the hard cam. And I was like, wait, did she announce me? Like, am I doing, like, bro, I was just blacked out.
Yeah, but, like, when I saw you come out, though, like, you came out and they announced you as Grimm. I'm like, I thought his name was Mr. Grimm, but where did Mr. go?
Okay, so about that. So when they talked to me, they said, they called Wardlow Mr. something, and then they got Mr. Brody Lee, and they said, hey, would you mind us just calling you Grimm? I was like, I don't mind because I have gear. Like, the gear that I wore was supposed to just say Grimm anyway. It wasn't supposed to have Mr. Grimm, but the dude put Mr. Grimm on there because I told him I wanted it done exactly like the last gear that he made, and that one had Grimm on it. Now, the reason I wanted it like that is because you can play around with it. If it just says Grimm, it could be Chris Grimm, Brett Grimm, Grimm something, whatever. It doesn't have to be Mr., even though Mr. is just the title. Because nobody actually knows what the hell my real first name in wrestling is. They just know Mr. Grimm. See? Yeah.
Smart man. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, everybody thinks that the real name of my gimmick is Mr. Grimm, but Mr. is just the title.
But yeah, it's like a teacher. Like, you got the Mr., then it's just the last name. So it's like, I didn't even think about that. Ooh. That's tricking the people. I like it. But you come out there, you have the match, right? I didn't see you put Wardlow in the body bag. Sir, what happened there?
What happened, like I told you before, I haven't wrestled since March, for one. So that first bump that I took, he picked me up and slammed me. I was like, shit. I was like, I forgot what this felt like. Like, yeah, he, when he bumped me, I was literally like, ouch.
I mean, I can imagine that. I mean, that's a pretty big dude you're facing, but like you guys about the same size. Like I was a little disappointed. I didn't see you put in a body bag, but it's all good. But when you talk about the body bag and stuff, where did that whole character come of you being the Hitman for Hire and bringing out body bags and stuff?
Nyla Rose actually came up with the body bag thing.
Hmm.
It was funny because one day, just sitting here minding my business, and Nyla calls me. Like, and it's weird if I get a call from Nyla because she prefers to text opposed to calling or talking on
Yeah.
the phone. She talks on the phone, it's something serious. So I was like, uh-oh, what happened? So she called. I picked up. She was like, "Hey, Grim." I'm like, "Yes. What's up? You all right?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Amazon has body bags for sale for $20." She was like, "Take that information and do what you will with it." And then hung up the phone. I immediately went on Amazon and bought a $20 body bag.
Huh. Wow. I would not think that your whole gimmick came from like Nyla telling you to buy something off of Amazon. Did you use Prime? That's a better question. Was there Prime?
At the time, actually, I did. I
Okay.
did use Prime, but I made like I'd already used Prime like previously, so I had to go and make another email.
Smart man.
Get the
Gotta
free
play the
30
system the right way. I like it. I like that. I like that. So you said that Nyla, kind of gave you the idea of the buyback. So did you know Nyla before AEW, or this is like, recently?
Well, actually, she's been like my mentor slash trainer since I would say like the end of my first year wrestling.
Oh, okay.
So I've been in
Wow.
this business. This year will make 7. This September will make
Okay.
7 years, and she's been there, for the majority of it. Like even back when I had the TNT gimmick, that's when we actually first met.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so you've known her for a while. All right, y'all go way back. I mean, like you are from the DMV, and for people that don't know that, obviously, and Nyla's from DC. What part of the DMV are you from?
I'm from DC Southeast.
Ah, okay. All right, Southeast. That's where the real stuff's at. But again, like you said, you had your wrestling your career for 7 years. Where'd you start training? Who trained you? Why'd you want to be a wrestler? The typical questions.
All right, so I've always wanted to be a wrestler. I just didn't know how to get into it.
Okay.
Everything came about when I was playing football in college, and the summer break happened. And like when you're at home on break, you try to find a job or get a job so you can make more money.
Of course.
So I went and started like doing security again. And my friend hit me up one day and said, "Hey, do you want to do security for a wrestling show?" I was thinking it was going to be like WWE or something, but it was an indie show. Noted, I never knew indies existed. I had no clue that they had indie shows or anything like that. So it was I think it was a RCW, RWA show. It was held at Du Barnes, that was in Baltimore.
Okay.
And I get there, first person I see is Mia Yim. Instantly fell in love. I was like, "Yo, who is that right there?" He was like, "Oh, that's Mia Yim." And I just kept looking at like, bruh. I was like a little high school kid, with a crush with his teacher. I'm just like following her with my eyes, and I'm like, "Yo." And Black G's, he was there. Christian York was there.
Okay.
Greg Flint was there. It was like a lot of people, and like I didn't know these people.
Yeah.
Then I think Ruckus was there too. Yeah, he
Ooh,
was.
OG.
Yeah. So I watched the show, and I went backstage and I started networking. I talked to Kendrick, and I asked him. I was like, "Yo, so if I wanted to be a wrestler, what would I have to do?" He was like, "First, you got to find like a credible school or whatever, like our school to train at." So I looked up schools. I mean, he did give me. He was like, "Yes, MCW, it's EWA, and I think it was another one that was in Maryland." So I initially tried out and like was gonna start with Gilberg's. Like I did my
Okay.
tryout. We talked about payment plans and stuff like that, and it just didn't go through. So then I went to EWA because I started wrestling with this backyard company, and they ended up merging with EWA. So that's how I got in with training with them. Like
Hmm.
out of all the people who like who was wrestling with us. It was only two of us who actually like went through with it.
Yeah.
So I started training. One thing led to another. I started off training like with a guy named Blood, but then he stopped training, and then it was a guy named Chris Burns that I was training with, and like I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to do this. So then I started training with Matt Wild, and his training sessions were a lot better. I was learning more and like felt that I was progressing. So did that and actually ended up catching heat because I went and started training like with somebody else. The reason that I went to train with somebody else was because of this. And I really don't like telling this story, and I don't tell it to a lot of people, but I'm like, it's whatever. Like, people need to know what I went through. And it was the fact that I was like a year or less. No, I think it was like a year in the business.
Okay.
And nobody wanted to train, like be the trainer anymore. So the owner came to me and asked me, could I conduct training? Like, at, yeah, yeah, exactly. And this is like a year, a couple of months, year and a couple of months into the business.
Yeah.
Now, I knew I wasn't qualified at all.
Of course. Of course.
Um, I did it so I could still get ring work and other guys could get ring work and they wouldn't like lose that. So
Yeah.
what ended up happening, like what pissed me off was a guy named Brian Gamble. I'm pretty sure you know who that guy is, Desert Storm.
I think I've heard the name before, but yeah.
Yeah, so he's one of the like he does like the camera work for MCW.
Oh, okay. Now I got
Yeah. So what pissed me off about it was every single time I would do like conduct training,
you. Yeah.
he would be there sitting and watching. And I'm like thinking, you're the vet. Why not come in here and hold training when you know that I'm not qualified for this? Like you got a
Yeah. Of
guy that's
course.
here in the business and he's doing training not because he really wants to,
Yeah.
but because he feels like if he didn't, then he couldn't get ring work. Other guys couldn't get ring work. So like I did what I had to do. But you're sitting there watching me hold training, and you're the vet. So soon after that, I left. Well, not really left, but I went and started training. With the Rod City crew,
Yeah.
and they taught Nick, who goes by Second. He taught me how to do a 450. So we posted the video of it, and it got a lot of traction.
Yeah.
And then the guy Brian, he came up to me. He was like, "Yeah, you're a big guy. You shouldn't be doing 450s. You need to just be working like a big man. Because you're gonna mess around and hurt somebody." And like you just talking like, saying what I should and I shouldn't do. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why? If I'm wrestling for a company that he's a part of, why wouldn't he want me to do something to help, bring more attention to the company?
Yeah. Of course.
Or like get fans to go like, wow. And honestly, I think it was a jealousy thing. He ended up going back and telling like the owner of EWA, what was going on, and they gave me like an ultimatum, and they were saying, you either just train here or you can leave. So I didn't allow anybody to put like a ceiling on, my career and my learning abilities. So I
Yeah.
ended up leaving.
Well, I
And
mean, it looks like you made the right choice.
yeah, I mean, I don't regret it at all. I'm actually thankful for that because that motivated me. That was like one of the first things that, ignited me to prove people wrong. It's like you sat up here and you got rid of me because of what? Because I just wanted to get better. I mean, how much difference does that make?
That's wild. That's
like,
wild.
I was literally at a school where I'm a year and some change in the business, and they made me the head trainer. So why wouldn't I go somewhere else to learn?
Yeah. Of course. That's so dumb. That doesn't make any sense.
So I mean, then after that, it was just yeah, I got let go. Rumors started. Apparently, I was talking. negatively about the people at EWA when it wasn't the people at EWA. It was just one person.
Yeah.
Like, the person that I had an issue with was Brian. Like, nobody else, but he was just on some petty stuff, to be honest. He literally was going and telling, and I heard this from other people. He was like saying that I was talking stuff about people and, doing this and doing that. It was even one, like, this is how I knew, like, he was petty. They had a show that they were doing. It was like a student show.
Yeah.
And I went on the event, the event page and put going. So I got messages from like 5 people saying, "Oh yeah, man, like, are you coming to the show? Because if you are, Brian said he's gonna call the police." And I'm like, "For what?"
For wanting to go as a fan. That's tough.
Look, trying to show support, and oh, they're gonna call the police if I show up. Like, for what? I didn't even do anything wrong. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. But like from there, you wrestled around the world. So like, what's some of the places that you wrestled at, and like who were the people that you're facing?
well, the first country that I wrestled in was Canada, and
Okay.
that was like an 11-day tour. And I'm so thankful for that opportunity because I had the opportunity to pick the brains and learn from ACH because he was there like almost like every day of the tour. Um, what is the Beer City Bruiser? He was there as well, and Chase Owens, who was a part of the Bullet Club. Like, like, just being able to be around them and pick their brain and learn. Oh, how could I forget Tony Kazina? Like, I don't know if you know who Tony Kazina is, but he had a hand in training. What was it Davey? Not Davey Smith. Who was the Wolf dude from TNA?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of the name. Oh
Yeah,
man,
I forgot
him.
yeah, but he was his trainer, and then just recently, what's his name? Bad Luck Fail or something like that.
Ballet.
Yeah, Fale. He made him the head trainer of his school in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, I
So
did see that. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I was around a lot of knowledgeable people who've been around the business, and it was fun. Like, I did have my issues down there, but everything got fixed. Everything everything was everything. But I had a chance. I worked so many people, but I had a match with ACH. I had a match with I had a couple of matches with Danny Duggan. I don't even remember everybody I had a match with. But it was one guy from Japan. He wrestles for DDT. Shug something. Shigeru Irie. Yeah.
Ah, cool, cool,
I'm
cool.
sure you don't know who that is.
No, I don't.
I forgot what his whole name was, but he's like the heavy, like, he's not real heavy, but he has like a green mohawk, I believe it is.
Mhm.
Shigeru Irie or something. I think that's his name.
All
But
right. Nice.
yeah. And then I went to Mexico. That literally came like last minute because the weekend that I was supposed to that weekend I was supposed to wrestle for Limitless in Maine. And it was kind of bittersweet because I was trying to get back to Limitless, and I finally had an opportunity to wrestle for Limitless again, but then I got hit up like the day before to do a week tour in Mexico. And that came about because what is his name? Ace Romero. Like,
Okay.
his passport in time. So they needed somebody to fill in. And he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, your passport's still good?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Would you be able to come down to Mexico for a week?" I was like, "Yeah, when's the first show?" "Tomorrow." Look, I literally had to like I had about maybe 4 or 5 hours to get everything that I had to get done to leave. And like I did my thing, man. I made sure that I had everything done. I went there, killed it. Like it was they were doing a show in conjunction with GCW.
Okay.
So Nick Gage was there, Schlack was there, um Shotzi Blackheart, she was there. Miranda Alizé, she was there. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. This kind of it sucks because she was supposed to be on the tour, and I first met her at a show I was doing extra work for at ROH. And when I first saw her, like I was like, oh my gosh, like she is so beautiful. I'm gonna make her my wife one day. Hannah, she was supposed to be there,
Yeah.
and it really sucked because she got injured and wasn't able to come. And I was like, damn, like the time that I would have, like a whole week to sit and talk and chill with Hannah and like see what she's about, and she gets injured. Now it's like I'll never get that opportunity again. So that kind of sucks. Like, and like I'm like not to go off of the subject, but it's like every time I see a post about her, like my heart just drops because I'm like, when I met her, like she was so sweet. Like,
Yeah.
but
Oh man, that really sucks. Definitely.
it does. It does, and it's just like damn. But yeah. When I was there, I worked. I had an opportunity to do a show. Like they had a joint show with AAA. That
Okay.
show was lit, bro. It was lit. Like it had to. Like I think it had to at least be 4,000 people there. At least.
Ooh. Ooh.
Like I'm pretty sure it was more, but I'm just saying at least. It was like we were in like a bull like it was a stadium that they did like bullfight like the bull whatever the
Yeah.
bull
Bullfighting.
yeah, and they had like stands in the front like all around it. It wasn't like one empty seat.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. That's like
And
WrestleMania quality.
then,
Jeez.
the little TNA ring, the
Yeah.
old one.
Yeah. The Octagon.
Yeah, bruh. Like that was like I had to pull my 450 out on
Of
that.
course. Of course. But you went from wrestling from like that kind of crowd with so many people. What's the transition like from going from a crowd of like say 4,000 plus to like no one at all? Like how's that feel wrestling in front of almost nobody versus like thousands upon thousands of people?
I mean, it's different, like because a lot of the wrestlers we feed off of the crowd's energy. I
Yeah.
mean, like I told you, my match, I blacked out. Like I didn't really hear anything. Like I mean, well, I couldn't hear anything because there wasn't no crowd. My thing is, I was just focused on making sure I didn't mess up.
Of
That
course.
was my main concern. And I mean, I feel I did a pretty good job. Like, I got like good reviews from it. Like as soon as I came like through the curtain, Cody he dapped me up. He was like, "Good job." So like, I don't think he would have said. Well, maybe he would have, but I don't feel like he would have said it if I went out there and shit the bed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely. Yeah. I mean, if you had a stinker, I'm pretty sure everyone would probably let you know that it wasn't the best in the world. But
I
since you talk
thought,
about Cody and stuff, like how was it like being in the same locker room as like a Cody Rhodes or a Young Bucks or Chris Jericho?
it like I'm gonna be real with you. I felt like I didn't belong there because of all the talent that was in there. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's like I've worked my ass off. So if you're in a locker room like that, it's you're blessed to be in a locker room like that and be able to be around so many different people. The only way you can get better in this business is by being around people that are better than you. Like that's what helped me because I was constantly wrestling these shows that where they book anybody, and I got to the point where I was like tired of that. Like I had a conversation with somebody, and they said, right now, like you're good, but you're only good because like you're the king of the shit. And
Yeah.
it's like, how long do you want to be the king, of this place when you can sit up there and try to be the king of another, like another country where everybody's better than you? And I thought about that, and I was like, you know what? Let me do that. So I started, doing the whole quality over quantity, and it sucked at first because I lost bookings because I rejected them because I didn't really. It wasn't that I was trying to have an ego or anything or a big league in them. It was the fact that I needed to do that because I'm sending my tape off to people, and they're like, "Yo, like they got like 12 people in the crowd. Like, you expect me to watch this?"
Well,
So
that's probably more than most wrestling shows nowadays.
I mean, that's true, but it's just the quality. Like when you're
Yeah.
on shows that have a name, and it makes a difference. Like I'm telling you, like when I did like my first show, like one of the first shows for Limitless, like they had, who was it? You had AR Fox there. You had Sammy Callahan. You had like Ace Romero. You had Ricochet, Matt Sydal. Like, bruh, I'm just saying, like, just all the names that are on this, and it's just like, wow. Like it forces you to wanna, do better and wanna like up your game up because if you got, bruh, the show that Ricochet and Matt Sydal was on, they worked each other.
That's a dream. That's a dream match to watch.
So it's like my thing is, if I have them on the card with me, like, do you think I wanna look like trash?
No.
No. So, working shows like that, it really helped me because it's like I have to step my game up. Like I have to, be better than what I was. And then it also helped me learn how to work the new indie style that, everybody's trying to do now.
What would you consider new indie style for people that aren't sure exactly what that means?
Like a lot of it is like, it's very spotty. It's not your traditional old school, here's the heat, up here's the comeback, wrestle, all that. Like it's more up tempo and like sometimes you're like stacking moves and stacking spot on spot. So basically what I would say is like with me, if I'm doing a spot, like say I do my corner spot where you're in the corner, I do my splash, you push me off, back elbow, boom, I go to whip you into the other corner, you reverse it, boom, I jump, do my springboard swing blade. So after I do that, I pin them, 1 2, they kick out. So right after they kick out, I'm like, oh shit, picking them right up, going for another fucking move. Boom, hit them with that. 1 2, kick out. Maybe they sit up. I run, hit the ropes, run a knee. Boom, 1 2, kick out. And I'm like shit, what am I do now? Like, yeah, like you don't really see that in like the old school kind of wrestling. So, when we say new indie, like it's more high paced stack and move on top of move. And a lot of people like don't really sell that well when they do it. But me, when I do it, I try to make sure that I'm selling like the stuff that you gave me. So it doesn't just look like you gave me something and I'm just like no selling it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Of course. Well, I mean, looking at your whole career so far, I mean, you made strides in pretty much everywhere across the globe. What's the main goal for Mr. Grimm now? Is it to go to AEW? Is it where's the pinnacle that you're trying to reach right now?
I mean, honestly, like my whole goal is to like, get a contract somewhere. I mean, do I have a place that I would prefer? Yes. Um, but if the opportunity comes and I have a chance to, feed my family and make sure they're good, if one option is there and the other one isn't, maybe, if the other one doesn't present itself and, sooner than later, then I'll take that other opportunity, because at the end of the day, I'm doing this to provide for my family. Like, I
Or
mean, granted, I love business, I love what I do, but, my kids come first and
facts,
I want
facts.
them to be taken care of.
I mean, you said it perfectly. You said it perfectly. But I guess to kind of like almost wrap up this whole thing, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got people putting body bags, but I guess I gotta give you one of those basic questions. What was the first ever wrestling show you ever went to?
As a fan or
Yeah,
actually as a wrestler?
as a fan.
Well, as a fan, remember, like we had just talked about it, the RCW RWA show that was in Baltimore, the one where I networked to actually find out how to be a wrestler.
Oh, so you never went to like a WWE show, nothing like that.
Well, I mean, as a kid, yeah, but like I don't really remember too much of those. I mean, I have, my dad, he always says, he took me to a WWF show, like when I was a little kid, and I saw the Undertaker, and I was scared of the Undertaker, and I was like, no, I don't want to, no, I don't want it. But, I mean, other than that, like I don't really remember too many wrestling shows from like when I was little. If you want to talk about my very first.
Gotcha, gotcha. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up, if you have one?
Okay, don't like. I hope people don't take this out of proportion, but I would say it was Chris Benoit.
Oh, of course. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, he was really good in the ring. So I mean, that's fair play. Fair play.
But it was like it was between him and Raven.
Okay. Oh, Raven. That's a different one. You never hear people say Raven is like your top favorite.
See, like this is the thing. Like when it comes to Raven, like back when I was younger, I didn't used to be the person that I am today. Like I didn't used to fight. Like I wasn't as hard as I am today. So one thing that helped me to be able to, make the transition from, this punk to this, hey, I'm gonna fight whoever, gets in my way type of person was Raven. Because like one thing about me is I was different. I wasn't like the regular person who was, always wearing Jordans, always had the good clothes. So people would talk about me and try to bully me.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it with Raven. He didn't wear the Jordans. He wore what he wanted to wear, and he didn't give a damn about what anybody thought about him. So I started having that mindset, and I'm like, hey, here's Raven coming out, not caring about what anybody thinks of him, and he's still doing his thing out there. So I started having that same attitude. I'm like, hey, if you don't like what I'm wearing or you don't like me, forget you. I don't care. Like, and if you got a problem with it, you can see me with the hands. Like, and it started going from there. I mean, don't get me wrong, at the beginning when I first started fighting, I didn't win that many fights.
Yeah.
But after we started, getting the hang of it, I think what honestly started helping me, made me transition to from losing fights to start winning. It was a bully that I had in high school. His name was Aaron Beeson. And like I'll never forget that name. Like he would just always bully me, just like for no reason, just run up, push me, punch me, and stuff like that. And I never did anything. One day we were on the it was recess and we were on the playground, and he threw a ball at my face. And then after that, I was like, bruh, like forget this. I'm tired of you bullying me. I squared up with him. We started fighting, and I ended up getting him on the ground, and like I put him in a rear naked choke, and like I blacked out when I did it. Like I just held it and held it and held it, and it literally took like four teachers like to get me off of him. And it was like I had so much built up frustration and anger because like for about 2 years he would just bully me for no reason. So it was just like I got tired of it, and I don't know. After that, like I just turned into started turning into a whole nother person where I didn't take shit from anybody no more. Like my thing is, if I'm gonna fight somebody, you can either win or you lose. Like, and my thing is, I didn't care whether I won or I lost anymore because I got respect after that. If somebody sees that they can't bully you, that they're not gonna be able to, have that control over you, what really can they do? Because even if I lose, if you bully me or you do something to me, I'm gonna fight you. I'll lose every single day until I win. And even after I win, if you do it again, I'm gonna still fight you.
I, I like that. I like that a lot. But I guess to wrap it up right there. I mean that's a good story, and that is where the Hitman was born. Right from there, that rear naked choke put him in a body bag right after. You knew from right there, oh, I should be a pro wrestler, and that is how the rest of your life went. But obviously, we're doing this because you were just on AEW. I saw you out there with Mike Tyson. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to see you get in AEW. I'm trying to see one of those graphics pop up where I see Mr. Grimm has signed All Elite Wrestling. So for everyone that's watching this, please tweet this to everyone in AEW. Tweet to Tony, tweet to Cody, tweet to Kenny, all of them. I'm trying to see this man go to AEW or anywhere else they want to sign him to. That's cool. But I'm trying to see him in AEW. Anything else that you want to say also? Because floor is yours. I mean, you're the star here. Don't put me in buyback.
Like, all the support is greatly appreciated. Like it's crazy couple of days, and I really appreciate everybody who took the time to reach out to me, congratulate me, and just to say, hey man, we're proud of you. I mean, it really means a lot. I haven't been able to reply to everybody, but just know it's appreciated, because at the end of the day, you didn't have to take your time, to say to congratulate me. You could have just kept doing what you're doing. So for everybody that said, thank you, congratulated me, showed me props or whatever, I appreciate it.
That's it. That's it right there. Well, thank you guys for watching the video. If you really enjoyed, in the comments down below, tell me, why do you think Mr. Grimm should go to AEW? Because I think that's a guarantee that needs to happen. But thank you guys for watching the video. If you really enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, share, and always subscribe. And we out.
We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a MuscleManMalcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a MuscleManMalcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze.